Wizards. The wizard is a master of arcane knowledge, a scholar who has studied magic not as a gift, but as a discipline, earned through rigorous training, obsessive research, and a relentless pursuit of mastery. In the Forgotten Realms, they sit at the top of the intellectual ladder, viewing the weave not merely as a tool, but as a fascinating phenomenon to explore and manipulate. At the heart of every wizard's power is their spellbook, a personal archive of arcane formulas, carefully recorded and endlessly refined. They prepare a selection of spells from its pages, knowing full well that the right spell at the right time can solve nearly any problem. As they grow in experience, so too does their collection, until their spellbook becomes a vast library of magical potential. Each line of ink is a key to bending the world to their will. In battle, they rarely act without a plan, layering magical defenses, reshaping the terrain, summoning allies, or striking from afar with devastating force. Their methods vary depending on the arcane tradition they pursue. Some specialize in necromancy, animating the dead to serve their will. Others focus on illusion, warping perception to confuse and mislead. Diviners peer into the strands of fate, while abjurers shield their allies from harm. Whether isolated in ancient towers, serving in magical academies, or delving into forbidden ruins, wizards are united by an insatiable curiosity and a deep belief that knowledge is the truest form of power. Though physically frail and vulnerable when caught unprepared, a wizard who has time to act as a force capable of turning the tide of battle or unraveling centuries-old mysteries. They are the architects of spells, the keepers of arcane lore, and the ones most likely to understand how magic truly works and what happens when it doesn't. Sorcerer. Sorcerers don't learn magic, they are magic itself. Their power comes from within, tied to an ancient bloodline, a brush with raw chaos, or a spark left behind by some world-shaping event. Unlike wizards who study spells like scholars, sorcerers tap into something primal and instinctive, wielding arcane energy as naturally as breathing. Their magic is often unpredictable, shaped by the source of their innate gift. A sorcerer with draconic ancestry might have hardened skin and a breath weapon that hints at their scaled lineage, while one born from wild magic could unleash reality-bending surges with every spell. What sets sorcerers apart is their ability to shape their spells in the moment. Through metamagic, they can twist and bend magic to fit the situation, casting faster, farther, quieter, or more powerfully than most casters could manage. This flexibility makes them highly reactive in combat, able to adjust on the fly, slip through defenses, or turn a standard spell into something far more lethal. But their power comes with limits. A sorcerer knows fewer spells than other casters, and without spellbook or divine guidance, they must make every choice count. Sorcerers are rare and often feared or misunderstood. Some are treated as prodigies, others as walking time bombs. Psions. As the newest and rarest class to date, Psions have the immense power of thought, and they are spellcasters who use innate mental powers to gain extraordinary abilities. Psionics has always lingered in the corners of dungeons and dragon history, from the horrors of the Far Realm to the manipulations of illithids. Now, the Psion class is emerging as a structured discipline. They don't rely on books, gods, or bloodlines, but instead channel innate psychic strength. This is why they are often misunderstood, and their abilities are seen as unnatural or dangerous. You won't often meet them in the open because they train in hidden enclaves, live in quiet exile, or move unnoticed through society. Some operate as contemplative mystics. Others awaken to their powers during trauma or exposure to strange forces. They can specialize into different subclasses, with each mastering unique spells and feats: telepath, psykinetic, psi-warper, and metamorph, each offering a different expression of mental force. They rely on superhuman mental focus to fuel their abilities, using psionic energy to enhance powers and spellcasting. They don't cast magic in the traditional sense, but instead they concentrate and let thought become power. Becoming a Psion feels like standing apart from the rules everyone else follows. You don't need a god. You don't need a scroll. You need only a quiet mind and a sharp will to bend reality. Clerics. Clerics draw their power from their unwavering devotion to a god. This commitment can be lifelong, or come in a flash. They are so much more than just healers or holy warriors. They are the earthly hands of the divine, chosen by the gods to influence the world through their sacred will. Whether it's about bringing someone back to life, punishing the wicked, or restoring balance in a chaotic realm, they have a vital role to play. They thrive in the grand marble halls of majestic temples and the blood-soaked battlefields of crusades. They serve as healers, judges, exorcists, or warriors of faith. Each one influenced not just by the deity they worship, but also by the message they carry into the world. What truly sets them apart are their divine domains, each one reflecting a unique aspect of their god's power and philosophy. Clerics of the war domain might charge into battle with their armors shining and prayers booming like thunder, while one devoted to the grave moves with quiet reverence, gently guiding souls and turning away death with a soft-spoken command. They have the tools to heal, protect, bless, punish, and even do supernatural acts, especially when they use their channel divinity, a hallmark feature that greatly enhances their abilities. Becoming a cleric feels like carrying the weight of something far greater than yourself. Every word, gesture, and spell resonates with the voice of a god. Druids. They are the spiritual guardians of the natural world, and mystics who act as its voice, protector, and instrument. Their power is drawn from the very essence of life, from roots and rivers, winds and stones, predators and prey. In the wild, they reign supreme, wielding magic that can heal, harm, or reshape the land itself. Their spells tap into the raw forces of nature, plants that ensnare, animals that assist, and weather that bends to their will. While they can hold their own in a fight, they prefer the protection of leather armor and wooden shields, opting for simple weapons like sickles, spears, or slings, steering clear of metal in line with ancient traditions. Most druids choose to live away from the hustle and bustle of civilization, caring for sacred groves, elemental hotspots, or untamed borders where nature thrives. They communicate in a secret language, connect with animals and spirits. Druids adhere to a strict code. They will never harm animals or destroy trees without a very good reason, and those who do often face severe consequences. Their unique ability is called Wild Shape, a shape-shifting gift that lets them take on the forms of various beasts, starting with birds and reptiles and eventually evolving into predators and elemental avatars. Embracing the druid path means becoming part of something that predates kingdoms and gods, a force that observes and endures the passage of time. Warlocks. These are the wild cards of the spellcasting world, and they draw their magic from a pact with something that's often beyond human understanding. Warlocks gain immediate personal power tied to an entity that rarely gives, without wanting something back. That patron could be anything from a demon lord to an archfey, an ancient dragon, or even something more bizarre. Some warlocks treat their patrons with the same reverence a cleric shows their deity, while others view the relationship as more of a business transaction or even a curse. Their signature move is the Eldritch Blast, a cantrip that grows stronger as they do, becoming their unique attack, a beam of force that can be shaped with invocations to pull foes, knock them down, or break through magical barriers. What really sets them apart is their eldritch invocations that grant them permanent supernatural abilities. Some let warlocks read any writing, see through magical darkness, or chat with animals. Others are sneakier, allowing them to curse with just a glance or perfectly disguise themselves. In society, warlocks often carry a reputation for being dangerous, and they are frequently seen as outcasts. They're feared by those who sense their ties to the unknown, That's why many prefer to work alone and gather forbidden knowledge. Bards. They are the spellcasters who transform every word into a weapon and every battle into a captivating performance. Bards are skilled artists who inspire, manipulate, and reshape the world through their music, poetry, and charm. Their magic is arcane, but it flows from art and expression rather than from rigorous study or a pact with otherworldly beings. Bards are the ultimate versatile adventurers, capable of wielding weapons, casting spells, and mastering skills in various ways. They shine as powerful support characters, using healing magic and bardic inspiration to strengthen allies. While not primary damage dealers, they can unleash potent spells when needed. Proficient in weapons, tools, and musical instruments, bards use magic-infused melodies to enhance their abilities. Their subclasses, such as the College of Law, Creation, Valor, and others, provide unique playstyles, allowing bards to adapt to various combat and role-playing scenarios with flair. Most bards hone their craft at informal colleges, with traditions passed down from mentors or shared through competitive guilds of performers, spies, and wanderers. Wherever they roam, bards leave a trail of stories. You can find them in courtrooms and taverns, battlefield tents and grand feasts. Anywhere a tale needs to be spun or a deal needs a little charm. Their signature abilities like bardic inspiration and jack-of-all-trades empower their allies and allow them to adapt to nearly any role with style and finesse. They may not deal the most damage, but they're seldom without a creative solution. Artificers. They're a unique mix of mage and mechanic, engineers who harness arcane energy through their tools, creativity, and sharp minds. While a wizard might summon fire with a simple incantation, an artificer could whip up a gauntlet that spews flames. They view the world as a collection of parts waiting to be enhanced, repurposed, or taken apart. Alchemists' supplies, tinkerers' tools, or even a set of thieves' picks can serve as their version of a wand. Their standout ability is magical tinkering, the knack for infusing everyday objects with minor magical effects like glowing stones or whispering coins. Their subclasses take this concept even further. Alchemists whip up explosive concoctions and healing potions. On the other hand, artillerists construct magical cannons and turrets. Battlesmiths forge intelligent steel companions and can repair constructs right in the heat of battle, while armorers make magical juggernauts with spells woven into their gear and enhanced attacks. Though artificers originated in Eberron, they've since carved out a niche across the multiverse. In the Forgotten Realms, they might be Lantanese exiles, innovative minds from Waterdeep, or even wandering tinkerers. While they're a rare sight, their presence often ignites both intrigue and wariness, especially when one of their contraptions goes haywire. Rogues, the true masters of subtlety and precision. Whether they're disarming a trap, slipping a blade between ribs, or coaxing secrets from a noble, they thrive in situations where others might hesitate. What sets them apart isn't just their stealth, it's their control. A rogue can disappear in an alley, scale the tower without being seen, and return with a purse full of gold while the guard is still scratching his head in confusion. In bustling cities like Baldur's Gate, they take on roles as spies, thieves, or informants. Rogues depend on their signature sneak attack, which allows them to deal devastating damage when they catch enemies off guard or strike alongside an ally. They can also use cunning actions to dash, hide, or disengage. They shine in various abilities, with expertise allowing them to double their proficiency in crucial areas like stealth, investigation, or sleight of hand. Their subclasses further enhance their talents. Assassins deliver deadly strikes. Arcane tricksters mix magic with mischief, and scouts are all about mobility and survival. Some are charming con artists, while others are silent blades lurking in the night. But all of them are shaped by tough choices and even tougher consequences. Rangers. They stand as the bridge between civilization and the untamed wild. Hunters, scouts, and wanderers who flourish in the wilderness. A ranger isn't merely a figure with a bow and a hood. They're experts, trained to track down monsters and strike before the target even realizes they're being hunted. You'll find them where the map gives way to peril, roaming the high forest, safeguarding caravan roads near the Rock, or stalking creatures through the murky marshes of the Mere of Dead Men. They mix martial prowess with a select array of nature-based spells, including those that boost accuracy, mark foes, or call upon animal allies. Their signature ability, Favored Enemy, gives them tracking and combat advantages against specific threats, while Natural Explorer offers unique movement and exploration perks in the terrain they're most comfortable with. What truly distinguishes them isn't flashy abilities or tricks. It's their preparation, patience, and a profound understanding of the world around them. They can track prey across vast stretches of wilderness, move silently, and strike with deadly accuracy when the moment is just right. Monks. These are dedicated practitioners who've honed their bodies into living weapons and as tools of precision, speed, and focus. The monks harness the power of Ki, a mystical life force, allowing them to act with an almost supernatural finesse. Ki gives them the power to dodge arrows, punch through steel, and even slow their descent. Their agility and speed are unparalleled, making them like phantoms on the battlefield, dodging, striking, and disappearing. You might find them in serene mountaintop monasteries guided by enigmatic mantras or ancient oaths. Some hail from the distant lands of Karatur, training in secretive schools, while others emerge from cloisters in Amn, Rushaman, or the Sword Coast where martial wisdom has been passed down through generations. Their subclasses embody different philosophies. The Way of the Open Hand perfects physical combat into an art form. The Way of Shadow transforms them into stealthy assassins. And the Way of the Drunken Master turns unpredictable movements into untraceable violence. Each path is more than just a fighting style. It's a spiritual journey expressed through fists and footwork. Barbarians. As their name suggests, barbarians are the embodiment of raw, untamed fury, channeling a primal energy that most people can't even begin to grasp. They are pure strength personified, charging into battle without armor, fear, or a second thought. You can find barbarians in the icy expanses of Icewind Dale, among the nomadic tribes of the Sha'ar, or roaming the wilds where civilization has no hold. Some are tribal warriors, serving as living symbols of their people's might, while others are solitary berserkers who've honed their rage into a weapon sharper than any blade. Whether their fury is sacred or instinctual, it shapes every aspect of their being. What makes barbarians truly fearsome is the transformation that occurs when they enter a rage. Their rage turns pain into fuel and hesitation into fierce aggression. And if that's not enough, they can attack recklessly, casting aside defense for brutal offense, and use their danger sense to evade traps with uncanny precision. As they grow stronger, barbarians select a primal path. The berserker path amplifies their relentless violence, pushing them to fight harder, even at the risk of exhaustion. The totem warrior takes a more spiritual approach, drawing strength and resilience from animal spirits like the bear, eagle, or wolf. These paths not only influence their rage, but also give each barbarian a distinct identity. Barbarians rely on strength as their primary stat, forego armor, and depend on sheer physical prowess. Being one is about becoming an unstoppable force. Paladins. They are the divine enforcers of the realm, champions of sacred oaths who seamlessly blend their martial skills with a higher purpose. Paladins are endowed with the strength to fulfill that mission through trials of fire, blood, and unwavering faith. You'll often spot paladins at the forefront of holy battles, patrolling treacherous paths or standing sentinel in ancient temples. Some are devoted directly to gods like Tyr, Helm, or Torum, while others champion more abstract principles such as justice, vengeance, or protection. The essence of a paladin's power springs from that oath. Whether it's the oath of devotion, which demands steadfast honor, the oath of vengeance, forged in the relentless pursuit of justice, the oath of the ancients, which is all about preserving life and light. These vows unlock divine magic, healing abilities, and radiant smites that punish the wicked. clad in heavy armor and wielding swords and shields, they stand as protective barriers between their allies and the threats they face. Their lay on hands ability allows them to mend wounds or cure ailments, while their divine smite unleashes holy power in devastating attacks. Every spell swing and step they take is infused with divine intent. Paladins draw on strength and charisma, enabling them to strike hard and exude a commanding presence, whether in the heat of battle or during negotiations. They might appear rigid, but within that structure lies immense power. Fighters. These are truly the backbone of any battlefield, martial experts who hone their combat skills through discipline, determination, and impressive physical strength. Fighters can be soldiers, gladiators, knights, or mercenaries. Essentially anyone who thrives in the heat of battle. You'll spot fighters wherever there's a conflict, leading warbands in Cormyr, dueling in the bustling arenas of Amn, or holding the line during border skirmishes along the Sword Coast. With action surge, they can push past their limits to strike twice in the blink of an eye. Second wind allows them to shake off injuries and keep fighting when others might fall. Plus, with a wide range of fighting styles at their disposal, they can adapt their combat approach to fit any role, whether as an archer, duelist, protector, or brute. Fighters can explore unique paths like the Battlemaster, who combines strategy with finesse, or the Champion, who transforms raw strength into a graceful fighting style. Others might harness supernatural abilities like the Rune Knight or Echo Knight, merging martial skill with mystical echoes of ancient power. Fighters rely on either strength or dexterity, depending on their chosen style, and they have access to the finest armor and weapons. But it's not just the gear that makes them formidable, it's their wealth of experience. They don't merely survive the fight, they dominate it. And this concludes our video for today. If you've enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.